Hi everyone, it's Rachel. Welcome to Sweet Simple Home. So you guys have been hearing me talk for a while about how I want to add some more personal touches to our house. We've lived here for just under 2 years and I'd really like to make this house feel less like builder grade and more like us with our personalities. So I went ahead this weekend and I tackled 3 of the major things that were on my list to tackle, which was wallpaper, hanging stuff up, and making a collage of meaningful things to hang on the wall for my family. Let's get to it, and we will start first and foremost with the wallpaper. I recently shared with you guys this wallpaper that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I got 6 rolls of this wallpaper for $40, which I thought was a steal of a deal. This print is a William Morris print, which I totally love. It has birds and flowers and is a very repetitive, simple yet beautiful pattern. I love the dark navy blue background, the softer blues and the greens in the mix with that little pop of like a bright reddish pink. I toyed around with the idea of putting this behind the headboard in our main bedroom. I thought that it would really set off the green of our headboard. However, when I did the math, I just wanted to do that main wall, but that wall is quite large. It's one of the biggest, blank walls in our house. And if I messed up, I wouldn't have had enough. And so that pressure was a little too much for me. So I went to my number 2 choice, which was adding it to the kitchen. And I'm so glad I went for this spot because it has totally perked up our main living space, as I have open floor plan, open to the kitchen, to the living room, all of it. I started off on the edge thinking I was just gonna do this little wall here, and I lined it up on the edge and moved towards the cabinets. Now, before I hung this wallpaper up, I did run a duster all along this wall and the baseboard, and then followed it up with a cleaning rag with a simple vinegar and water cleaning solution. Gave it a really good wipe down and let that thoroughly dry before I started this project. The only tools that I used were measuring tape, a little like squeegee type tool, and a simple sort of serrated knife so I could cut the wallpaper once it was pushed up against the surface that I needed to remove the excess wallpaper from. I worked on this very slowly and I was literally up until 2 in the morning because I made the decision after I got the kitchen wall covered to go ahead and do this little wall connected to that wall where our clock is, facing the main living room. And the reason why I thought this would be beautiful is because that wall is just so slim and slender. On the other side of this wall is our coat closet, so there's not a whole lot of point to this little wall, and I thought this might be a place where this wallpaper can have a moment in this house. And since I had enough left over to go ahead and do it, I did it. The clock has really popped now on this, totally by accident. The blue in this clock is the exact blue that's in this wallpaper. So amazing how that works out. When you like what you like, it will all come together. Now, I did go ahead and hang up our family chalkboard again on this wall in the kitchen. It's practical and it works really well for us. That wall has so much more personality and I love it. So I do have some wallpaper left over from this, like the little pieces that were left when I cut to make the the pattern lineup. So I do have some leftovers and a full roll. So there's potential for me to add this somewhere else in the house. We're kind of still thinking through where I might do that, maybe my laundry room, not sure. So I've tucked it away for the time being, but it's so fun to have this beautiful pattern and color in our home. So the next project to bring some personality into the home I'm so pleased with. It's one of those things that is a unique idea that hopefully can inspire you to think of some ways to incorporate special things in your home. I took a thrifted corkboard that I got at Goodwill for about $6, and I took photographs and postcards and drawings from my kids and little things that had meaning for my family. And I put them all together, starting with the big pieces first and then slowly layered in little by little some things that had a lot of meaning for our family. I covered up some of the personal names and info on here to show you guys the finished product. All my kids draw, and I love their sweet drawings, the little mementos from our travels to Greece and even to Orcas Island where we went last year. So it's just so sweet to see my kids when they were teeny tiny and more recent pictures of them too. It's just really fun to see all of that. Back in the day, I was so into that trend in the early 2000s of scrapbooking. I have so many scrapbooks that just sit in the closet and do nothing, where I felt like this was like a scrapbook but on the wall, and we look at it every day, and it's just a sweet reminder. And I've always loved collage art. I've always found it so fun to have so many cool things to look at and enjoy, and to draw your eye in and to make you go, wait, what's that, and come back. And I feel like that is an art form that I've always been personally drawn to through scrapbooking and other forms of collage art. So seeing this on the wall, it just makes me smile. It's at the base of our stairs, so every time I come down the stairs I see it, and it's going to be a living and active art piece for my family that we can put things up and take things down as things come in and go in our lives. So I'm so pleased with the outcome of this project. I'm just kicking myself. I did not do this sooner. So I've been wanting to do it for a while, but it's definitely brought a lot of meaning and connection and personality to our home. All right, and last but not least, I put it on my list to hang up some things that had meaning to our family, or that I just needed to hang up. On the fun side of this, I had a beautiful watercolor that I picked up in Greece when we were there. I bought it on the island of Santorini. He's a Greek watercolor artist, and I loved this one because the imagery was just so reminiscent of the things that we loved about visiting Greece. I used one of the white picture frames that I got at a yard sale earlier this summer. I think I paid only $1 for this white picture frame. The matting that came with the painting was a little bit like skinny. Like it didn't quite fit the standard American 8.5 by 11. And so what I did was I went ahead and just used plain old paper and glue on the back of the picture frame to make it white and sort of blend in that it was a little skinny on the sides. So just a little trick for the eye to make it work with what I had. I hung this picture up in a place where our family loves to be, and that is the loft area. It's right next to our green bookcases where we have books and Legos and all those things that mean a lot to us. There's this beautiful picture to remind us of our amazing time that we had. So I love the colors in this room. I feel like this loft area is one of the spaces where I've just kind of let my desire for color go. I just love that this picture works so well in this space. And this whole project took me like less than 10 minutes. Like, why do we put off these projects that all in all are quite short to do? It's like, I don't know, just the mental block to get it done. It really did not take me that long. Case in point, the other thing I've been putting off hanging up in my home are these two like dressing mirrors is what I call them, because they're just simple white rectangle mirrors that I got at Walmart. And I had one for mine and my husband's bedroom and one for my daughter's bedroom. Recently at Costco, they had a major big pack of 3M picture hangers on sale for like $6 or $7. So I went ahead and picked those up thinking, I want to hang stuff up in my house. I'm going to grab these. And I'm so glad I did, because I just slapped a few of those on the back of these mirrors, some on the top, some on the side, some on the bottom, and then just hung those up like that, and it worked so well. And so I hung up the one in our closet and the one in my daughter's room, so now we can actually like see when we're getting dressed and we want to see the full outfit and it's done. It's not like a major personality thing where I'm adding a piece of artwork or wallpaper, but doing this simple task of actually putting those mirrors on the wall makes us feel that much more moved in and that much more like this is home. I definitely enjoyed the kick in the pants that this challenge gave me to make this house feel more like home, to make it feel more like us. I'm absolutely loving the wallpaper. I love seeing this beautiful painting from Greece as I'm walking through my home every day, and it's so great to finally have the mirror up on the walls. So I hope this inspired you to add some personality and some personal touches to your house. Let me know in the comments any projects you've been working on or what you enjoyed the most from this video. And if you're not subscribed yet, I would love to have you here at the Sweet and Simple Home. So I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. Thanks so much for being here. I love you guys, and I hope your school year is off to a great start. Take care, and I'll be back with more soon. Bye!